On the 19th, the 250th anniversary of the start of the American Revolutionary War, large-scale protests against former President Donald Trump's policies took place across the United States. This protest was an important scene that went beyond simple political expression and showed the power of grassroots civil movements.
This protest was held under the name of the 50,501 movement, with the goal of organizing more than 50 protests simultaneously in all 50 states of the United States. This movement is a grassroots citizen campaign that spread spontaneously through the social media platform Reddit. More than 700 protests and events were organized across the United States on this day, and large-scale rallies with thousands of people were held in major cities such as Washington, D.C., New York, and Chicago. The 50,501 movement raised issues with various policies of the Trump administration under the slogan of Defend Democracy, Protect the Constitution, and Oppose Abuse of Executive Power. In particular, aggressive immigration policies, unpredictable tariff policies, and drastic cuts in the federal workforce were the targets of criticism. In Washington, D.C., protesters gathered on the National Mall between the Capitol and the Washington Monument to demand the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, an immigrant who was mistakenly transferred to a prison in El Salvador. The protesters chanted "Freedom for Kilmar" and marched to the White House with chants of "Trump, step down," and "Trump, go home." Chris Gilbert, 40, a veteran who participated in the protest, said, "Trump claims to be law and order, but in reality, he is doing the opposite. And we are here to put pressure on the administration." The protests continued in Lafayette Square near the White House, where signs such as "Hands off our data, dollars, and democracy," and "Families over billionaires" were visible. The protests continued in front of the vice president's residence, outside a Tesla store in Manhattan, New York, and on Long Island, and especially criticized Elon Musk, head of the Department of Government Efficiency, for his policy of reducing federal employees. Gil Scipione, 65, from New Jersey, strongly criticized Trump, saying, "Trump's disregard for the Supreme Court order and blocking Garcia's return symbolizes that he has become a dictator." What's interesting is that this protest was not just a simple street march, but was also combined with community activities such as food bank operations, neighborhood cleanups, and necessities sharing campaigns. In downtown Washington, D.C., a campaign was held to collect baby supplies and hygiene products, and 50,501 emphasized in their flyers that helping each other is how we resist and how we win.
What began as a single person's outrage has now grown into a nationwide rallying cry: the power of democracy and a new way to protest. The movement of American citizens is sending a message to the world: